watching golf in here, and then they decided to put fucking field hockey on the TV.
Yeah, I was fucking rattled.
You're listening to the Draft in Hand podcast with your hosts, Greg, Ian, and Mark.
My dad got a new phone today, the Samsung S21.
Damn. Yeah, that's the flagship for Samsung.
I guess. I don't know. My sister and my mom both have the 10.
Same. Right here.
You got the 10, yeah.
And I got the 8 because I got two phones just in case.
Yeah. But
just in case.
My dad's last phone it was a BlackBerry. He got, it must have been when I was in college the first time, so.
It comes to the shoulder strap,
I'm going
right?
to say like 13, 14 years ago.
Shoulder strap.
So it's
phone.
like half the age of you.
Yeah.
So it's like half the age of you, basically, plus...
Like a third of the age of us. Yeah. Yeah, it was a BlackBerry. I don't remember what the name was. It was like one of the slide-up ones that had a keyboard on it.
Yep.
I had the Curve.
Yep.
You had a Curve or something.
I've had like 4 BlackBerries.
And then there was the Bold.
Phones, like,
I forget. I think this was a Storm or something like
people
that.
Go through underwear.
So my dad went and got a new phone.
Marcos through phones like people should go through their face masks.
Yes. Well, this phone's lasted you a while.
Because Amy put a case on it.
Yeah, what did I always tell you about your other
Put a case
phones?
on my phone.
You know what? You didn't physically do it for me, and that's what.
So my dad got this brand new phone. It's like a $1,500 phone.
The flagship Galaxy, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm just like, you don't know how to use this.
No, it doesn't have a keyboard.
I was just like, I opened it up. I'm like, you're not even signed into our Wi-Fi at home. I'm just like, do you know how to text message? He's like, no.
He's like, what's that? He's like, what's that? Probably.
No. Well, like, because he could text message on his Storm. He never did it.
But now he's got a touch screen.
Yeah, he's got a touch screen. Well, his was like a touch screen and keyboard before.
Yeah, but he probably didn't know how to use the touch screen.
Yeah, but like, still, it's just like, what are you gonna do with this thing?
Paperweight.
I'm just gonna go home, like, take my SIM card out of my phone and put it in his phone and take that phone.
He won't even remember.
Literally, yes.
He won't even notice.
He might not.
You should just try it.
I have a similar
Legit,
story.
just try it.
I have a similar story. My dad's phone reset on its own at the cottage.
Like factory reset?
I have an iPhone
Basically.
6. My phone is so fucking
that's old.
Yeah, that's pretty old. My dad has a 6-year-old phone as well. It was a Motorola something or other, and he's like, I got this Hindu language on it because I guess he had like
changed the keyboard by accident.
Something, or it had reset, and it was like the reset menu, and I just changed it to English, and away we went. But he lost all his information. He's like, how do you get your information back?
You don't.
Well, I said, if you were signed into Google Gmail, because it's an Android.
Yeah.
If you were signed into Gmail like I told you to, it would all be saved.
Yeah, if you had a Google Drive or a Google account.
Which he did, but he had all those contacts in before he signed into Gmail.
Yeah.
Fuck, we don't even have the Jays game on right now.
So, very similar. It's like, if you knew how the phone works. So he's looking up deals, and you know what? That's why your dad got that phone, because it's on sale right now through whatever.
Yeah, but like before, he's paying monthly for this phone. It's not free.
It's a lease now. It's a lease now, so they can't break it. Yeah, you can't like smash your phone like I do. If I smashed like the phone that like
you got to pay it.
You have to pay it out.
Yeah, so like they're saying like, I think it's like $12, $14 a month
for 2 years.
For 2 years,
but it's a $1,500 phone.
Plus, if you want it after that, you have to pay $400. Like to buy it outright after 2 years, you still have to pay $400.
Seems like they're.
It's leasing a car.
Yeah, basically.
You know, but it's a phone now, and I'm just like, yeah, I want a phone, but I don't really want to pay that much extra for a phone. Just give me like my phone was free, my Google Pixel 2.
Yeah.
This phone's like 4 years old now.
Yeah.
I would get another iPhone 6 if I could.
You probably
No, this phone is
honestly,
perfect, and it still plays Pokémon GO perfectly fine.
Yeah, eventually you're going to have to get a new phone because they stopped supporting back.
Yeah, that far.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, you might have to.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, that's what I state my lowest, like, that's where I get my phone to. As long as it can play Pokemon Go.
It's crucial.
That's the benchmark.
That's and I get the lowest level phone that can get it, because I don't need a phone. The only people I text are you two, Amy, and a couple people on Messenger.
Yeah. Honestly, I looked into it very briefly because my dad just mentioned it. That's the only reason. It's funny that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because you could do very well with a mid-level phone. There's some mid-level phones that are almost as good.
Yeah, I don't need top end. I don't care.
No.
I don't want to spend $2,000 on a phone. I don't want to spend $1,000 on a phone. I don't want to spend $500 on a phone.
$120.
Yeah, even that's a lot.
Yeah.
My last 3 phones that I have gotten have been $0 with a plan, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how I've always had my phones that I can remember.
How long have I had this? 3 years now?
A while.
A while.
I think it's going on 3.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
I've had mine slightly longer.
With its shiny case.
Yeah, but how long did you have the one before that?
Like 3-4 years as well.
I remember I had one of your old phones too.
The Nexus. I gave you my Nexus, yeah.
Too.
I went
I broke one of Kristen's old phones as well.
I went Sony Ericsson, and then I had the Rumor. Didn't you have a Rumor as well? Or I know Andrew did.
Andrew did.
The flip up with the keyboard.
My brother did.
And
yeah,
then
I
that
did
phone
not.
was cool. Everybody in high school had that phone.
And then
Yeah. That or the Razor.
yeah, I had the Razor. I broke
I
that as
used
well.
my sister's Crazer for like half a year. I
had
remember.
that too. I broke that one as well.
And then I got the BlackBerry Curve, and then I went to
broke
the
one of
Nexus,
those.
and then I went to the
I broke
Google Pixel
I
2.
broke your Nexus.
Mark, you've broken more phones than I've owned.
He's broken more phones in like a month than I've owned.
Jesus.
There was like a spiel he went like because he'd like drive with his phone on his lap, and then he'd like get out of the car and forget it was on his lap and drop it on the driveway.
You know, that's the only time I ever broke a phone. I did that exact thing. I was in a parking lot in Calgary, and I thought my phone was my walkie-talkie radio.
Oh.
And I thought it was clipped, and it just dropped off and just cracked. And
was it your personal
Were you,
phone?
It was my
were you
phone,
in the
yeah.
truck? Was that with Invictus?
Invictus, I was in my Jaguar F-Pace, and it just cracked right down the side. I still
Did you
had.
drive it in sport mode?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I
There's
would.
no
It's
sport.
not my guess.
It's. I'm pretty sure.
That's
like,
what I
it's
did
always
today
sport
because I
mode.
was getting an oil change in my truck. My mom, because my mom's at home right now, I drove the Nissan.
Oh.
So I drove it in sport mode the whole time. She's like, I told her, I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, it doesn't accelerate that fast. I was like, yeah, I had it in sport mode, so it was pretty like okay. I just didn't like it because like I have my RAM.
Yep.
Like I can see everything around me. In this thing, I was like,
A lot of blind spots.
I have to like, I didn't like changing lanes because it was fucking
You weren't comfortable with it.
difficult.
Visibility is not the
Yeah.
same. Yeah.
And think about like going back to a car now. Like imagine you drove Amy's car, you wouldn't see shit.
Amy's car is a.
But that's one
for
of the
those
reasons
people
why I
not-
like my
for these
Grand
people
Prix so
listening.
much.
I don't know. Would she have a Mazda
Mazda 3
3?
hatchback.
Hatchback.
You
yeah.
can see pretty good in it because her windows are pretty big.
but it's small still.
It's just small. It's a go-kart.
yeah.
No, but my Grand Prix had
Literally
really
a
good,
go-kart.
like you could see really well in my Grand Prix too. Even though it had short windows, the mirrors were both like big on
Wide.
Yeah,
Wide mirrors.
I don't know. I don't have a problem driving a car because that's what I've driven. But like when I went from the
What's your car, Ian?
Nissan Altima,
From way back.
it's like an 08.
It's got a shoulder strap.
Might have a shoulder strap.
Nice.
But it's only got 180K on it.
100. That's a pretty young car, relatively.
Yeah.
The Grand Am, what,
Fuck.
290 or something?
No, that was like 350.
Oh, shoot.
It was over 350.
Was
it
it?
almost got to 4,
Oh wow.
and my truck's already at like 30,000
Meanwhile,
in a year.
see, that's almost what I got on my Impala.
In 2 years, 3 years now.
3. I barely drive it. I drive it to pick up pizza and to go pick up food and to go to baseball.
And
I
your-
think,
and your
my
parents
truck's at
take it.
27. Well, it's a year and a half.
I see your dad driving it more than you actually.
Dad drives my car more than I do at this point. Yeah,
No,
basically.
I got it in July last year. It's just a little over a year.
It's a year. Your truck's a year old.
A year and a month.
You're
Throw a
driving
birthday
pretty
party
far,
for your
though.
truck.
Yeah.
I wasn't invited.
Party. It's party, all right.
Yeah, fuck. I drive a lot. Shit.
Are we done? Are we done with our pre-ramble?
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
I didn't even know we were recording.
Hi, everybody. We're back again. Hope you missed us. My name is Greg. There's Ian.
Yo.
There's Mark.
Where?
We have a podcast.
Yeah.
You're listening to it.
You might have forgotten.
We apologize.
It's
in
been
advance.
like 2 weeks.
Only Greg does.
Yeah.
I was ready.
Yeah,
to
I don't
go.
give a shit.
Yeah. I've been at the cottage like 4 times since our last pod. It's partially my fault.
Ian's been day to day.
Ian's been day to day with Ian.
Yeah.
Ooh, phrasing.
You can make your own joke. Guys, lots has happened.
Tons.
Tons has happened. Let's go through. Okay, first, I just want to start off with the Olympic stuff.
Cool,
Specifically Team Canada Olympic stuff, because there's been some Olympic
Specifically females because the males did nothing except for the one guy.
stuff. There's a couple guys. There's a couple
Yeah,
guys.
He won the decathlon.
The speed walking.
The speed walking bronze medal. I did mention, I
We
think,
won
our
the
last podcast.
decathlon.
The decathlon, aka the world's best athlete,
Yeah, that would make sense.
That's kind of what it is. The best athlete in the world. Damian Warner, gold medal. Okay, hold on. Can we talk about... I just want to talk about two things about him
Christine St. Clair finally winning
Mark, we're not there yet. Stop.
Canada.
Damian Warner, his sprint... Did you see the 100 meter that he ran?
No.
He would have qualified for the 100 meter final, flat out. Not the decathlon.
And when does he run this part of the decathlon?
Like, it was like one of the first ones.
Still, but
he was like, he was just above 10 seconds. He would have made the regular 100 meter sprint final.
That's insane.
If you watched the 100 meter that for the decathlon,
how far in front was he from everybody?
there was one guy that was relatively close. The rest of the field, I don't want to say that they were in his dust, because I think the dust had settled and then they were behind that. It was unbelievable. It was literally like he running against children.
He wanted to get that jump.
It was just it was, and okay, how about this? His long jump, Damian Warner's long jump would have, I can't verify this, I just heard this from a bunch of people on the Instagram and Twitter and everything, but his long jump would have got him a bronze.
What?
In the Olympic Games,
Yeah, why didn't he do all this other
I feel
shit?
like he should get the bronze regardless.
Would
if
have
that
gotten him
happens.
the bronze. Like, what the fuck?
Holy
Damian
shit.
Warner, gold medal.
No, I knew he won. I didn't know he absolutely obliterated it like that.
Not everything he obliterated, but like a couple of them. Like, he did really well in everything, but those that, like,
No, but
imagine
the
making
fact
it to
that he was
final.
just as good as the people who are specialized in one thing is
Yes.
insane. Well, I guess for running, because the
It's
grass
insane.
ran the one, the two, and the...
Running's running.
Yeah.
Yeah, running's running.
Swimming.
Yeah.
There are different swim styles, though.
Yeah, but still swimming.
Different swim styles, but if you're a fish...
You're a fish.
You can sweep. So when we were doing our last podcast, we were wrapping up as Maggie McNeil was winning her gold medal in the butterfly, which was Canada's first gold medal.
Yeah, and I think they had just won the silver or bronze in the
previous
the
100 the 100 relay.
the 4x100
4x100. I think it was the night before
freestyle, yes,
or that day, whatever it was.
So imagine going to the Olympics and winning literally not a gold medal, but a silver medal and a bronze. Maggie McNeil got the whole set, all three. It's pretty good.
Fucking right.
Yep.
Pretty good. Penny Oleksiak, the most decorated Canadian Olympian, Summer Olympian, I believe. Most
I
decorated
think she's
Summer
tied
Olympian.
with the most Olympian ever, or she needs
Probably.
one more medal or something.
It's crazy. Like 7.
What is she, 20?
21, I think.
Yeah. So she'll be back.
She'll be back. She's already said, I'll be back again. kind of
Yeah.
sort of
She'd
thing.
probably do it twice more.
Yeah. Won gold in weightlifting, women's weightlifting.
That's cool.
Maud Sharon early on. And then, like, last day of the games, track cycling gold. Is it Kelsey Mitchell? Won
Oh, I
track
didn't even
cycling
hear
sprint?
about that one.
The sprint? Yeah. And the sprint, the track cycling sprint is kind of cool because
Oh,
for the
he's off
first
base.
lap, they're like kind of not going fast at all. They're playing for position. They're just sort of like eyeing each other up and then they go. So that's kind of fun. That's kind of cool. Softball, we won bronze.
Oh, that was a good game. That's one of the few games I've seen, like, I saw full.
Really good. And
Oh,
who
yeah.
did we beat? Mexico? Italy?
I think it was Mexico.
Mexico. Yeah.
Gold medal.
Gold medal for
No, but I want to go back to the softball game. That,
yeah.
Man, those women are throwing like 80 miles an hour from like 40 feet.
Dude, they're harder to hit than a major league pitch.
Oh, yeah. Like, holy shit, man.
Especially a rise ball.
So the difference between softball and baseball, the ball is a little smaller, but the ball really only goes like 2 directions in baseball. In softball, it goes 3. Like, it can go down, sideways, and up.
Yeah.
And if you ever try to hit a ball going up, I tried last night. It's hard. It is so counterintuitive.
Remember when I caught the game for you, the hardest pitch for me to catch from you was a rise ball because I wasn't used to catching it.
You got to catch
seeing
it above your eye line as a catcher. And as a hitter, it's just so...
Does it come out as like a fastball and then just rise on you?
If you're strong enough and good enough, it comes out as basically like a fastball.
No,
sure.
Greg's rise ball comes out just like... And then like right before it gets to the plate, it's just like... Bye.
Yeah, but if you're really good, you started at the person's knees, and it
ends up at their
finishes
shoulders,
like just above their belt. And if you're swinging at your knees, you're not even close because just above your belt to your knees. That's in baseball.
Feet.
That's a big difference.
Oh yeah,
and the catcher's catching it at their chest because it comes in and it's anyway. Softball. I think the Americans won. I think the Japanese came second. Canadians third.
Japanese won in men's baseball.
Men's baseball. Do you watch that, Mark?
No, I didn't get to see any of the games.
Jose Bautista bronze.
Yeah, he walked off a game too. I saw on Twitter.
Was it Schaffel that won the golf?
Classic.
Yeah, Xander.
Yeah.
I heard the Canadiens just didn't start very well.
No, their first round was shit. I watched a lot of the first round.
Who came third in the men's? Who got bronze?
I don't know.
Oh my god, what's it? Oh my gosh. I heard the quote though. I heard the quote on the radio. He said, "I've never tried this hard for a third place in my life."
Was he American, Canadian?
I think British, American. Oh my god, I can't remember.
Paul Casey?
No,
Still good for
because usually a third place in golf, like nobody cares, right?
Yeah, it's pride.
Like, it's pride. You win a bit more money, but you're not. Are you gonna look it up, Ian?
Yes.
But I just heard on the radio. I just heard him. He
didn't care about winning. He just wanted to beat the guys in front of him.
You want to get the medal. You don't want to finish fourth in a PGA tournament. Who gives a shit? Like fourth.
Yeah,
versus
no,
third.
in the Olympics, third place, man.
That's a medal.
Oh yeah.
You put that. That's something you hand down to your grandkids and your grandkids.
It says CT Pan.
In third place.
Yeah, Chinese.
No.
Yeah.
Who finished second?
Well, who
Answer
finished
finished
Uh,
Who finished
second.
fourth?
It says Sabatini
Rory Sabatini?
finished second. Slovakian.
Oh, it was probably It could have been Sabatini then.
Anyway, doesn't matter. I also want to mention the soccer. Is Julia Grosso going to be a household name? Because the golden goal.
I don't care.
That and Stephanie LeBay. Did you, on her Wikipedia page, Stephanie LeBay, it was changed to Minister of National Defense.
That team, that was the last teams like last year at the kick of the can, and they fucking did it.
Yeah, there's a few players that are like Christine Sinclair can retire now. Well, if she will or not, but she can.
It doesn't matter.
Can
She's
if she
going
wants
down
to.
as
Greatest ever. One of the greatest ever.
she's one of the greatest Canadian athletes ever.
And a lot of young players
Legit.
on the team.
St. Clair is one of the greatest Canadian athletes ever.
Yeah.
What she's
And
done
no one will
for
debate that. No one
what
can
she's
debate
done
that.
for like just soccer in general.
Just sport.
Yeah. Most goals, international goals ever. Finally got her gold medal.
Yep. A couple other medals. How many medals do they have now? We've got a couple. They won bronze.
But you just feel so good for that team. Like they finally got what they deserved.
Yeah.
Matsuyama was fourth. It could have been him.
Maybe.
Rory was
It
fourth.
might have been Rory. I think it was Rory. I think it was a Rory quote for the golf. I think. Or it doesn't matter, regardless.
But we were driving which game was it? It wasn't the final, it was a semifinal
For
game.
soccer?
Yeah, we were going to different job sites and we were watching the game in the truck.
Was that did they play Brazil?
Yeah. We watched the penalties against Brazil in the truck.
Oh my god.
I just finished work. It was last Sunday. And my boss pulled up the 100-meter race on his phone.
No,
we
We were
watched
just
that
watching
too.
that. And it looked like the guy just had a bad jump. Like he just had a bad start and couldn't recover.
He was the furthest from the gun, and sound doesn't travel through everybody at the same time. So he got it. He would have won gold. DeGrasse would have won gold if he didn't get such a bad jump.
Yeah.
He had a bad start
looked
and made up for it.
someone said he always has a bad start. That's why he obviously flourished in the 200 meter.
In the 200
For the 200-meter race, I was watching that. We were watching that at the work truck again.
You guys just watch Olympics in your work truck?
They don't
No,
actually
we were
work.
moving job sites.
Yeah.
So you bring it up, they could all hear it as soon as the guy as soon as he wins gold. I was like, we were kind of like watching the race. Like,
Yeah.
Don was driving.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he won gold, bah, 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 bah.
on the horn.
Oh,
Everyone's like, "What are
fuck,
these
man.
guys doing?" Just going nuts.
Did you watch the men's relay as well?
Sorry,
I did.
The 200-meter event. I think it's still the only actual live event I watched, and besides,
Really?
yeah.
Just the right.
Besides, like a little bit I watched from, like that's
Well,
the only full event I watched.
We were watching golf in here, and then they decided to put fucking field hockey on the
Yeah,
TV.
I was fucking rattled.
I don't know how he did in field hockey.
I guess it's been that long.
So yeah, the
So
relay.
Since we haven't had one in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
I'm like,
a podcast?
I've been like subconsciously in my head. I'm like, did we talk about this before? Like we
Yeah.
before?
Probably-
I
did
don't
we
remember
cover
what we
this?
talked about the last time. I don't know if I'm repeating myself again.
I don't remember what we talked about last time. Oh, we talked about the Kraken. It was the Kraken. The Kraken and the Olympics just started.
Sorry.
And there was the couple signings as well.
Yeah.
Because Nurse and
NHL
Makar
stuff.
had just signed.
Yeah. We were complaining about defensemen and.
Oh, I was just gonna say that
4x1.
Yeah, the 4x1 when he got it, they were in 5th, and he pulled into 3rd.
Yeah.
And the other two guys were way ahead. I think it was Italian and US or something like that.
The Italians ran really well for the men's this weekend.
Didn't Canada get a lot of rowing medals too?
We got a couple rowing, a canoe. I don't have those written down, so
Yeah.
we did pretty well.
I love that we got a speed walking medal.
Okay, someone said it was just it was a short thing, and then I saw it was
It's
50K. I was like, Jesus Christ!
How far is 50K from here?
50 kilometers.
Pick a. Thank you, Mark. Pick a destination.
Downtown.
No,
it'd be further than downtown. Be
Bowmanville.
Bowmanville? No.
Check Bowmanville.
100. Okay, that's 50.
Mississauga 50?
I'm just zooming out on
I don't
Google
know,
Maps
depends how
until I
much
see
traffic you're
50
in.
kilometers.
That 10K could be 50K if you're in traffic there.
Mark, it's still
It's
the
still
same
50K.
distance. It's not time.
Yeah, but I don't. The traffic, man.
No, Mark. That's not how it
I don't
works.
think you've sat in traffic like I have.
That's still the same distance, man.
50.
Okay, yo, it's from here to Rogers Center and back.
It's 50K? That seems like a really long way.
I would not want to work my hips that hard.
Mark, your hips don't lie.
Did you see the way they walked? They're like,
Man, yeah, they get into it, man. Yeah, 25 kilometers from here to Rogers Center.
is it only that far?
Straight
Why the
throw.
fuck does it take over an hour?
Because you can't just straight throw there.
Because Toronto is an hour from Toronto. That's why it's what drives us nuts when it's like there's been a murder in Scarborough. Where? Scarborough? I'm half an hour from Scarborough, maybe, probably.
Yeah,
We're in
literally.
Scarborough,
Like,
but
if
at
it's
the same time.
Warden and Eglinton, yeah, it might be 45 minutes from where we are.
In traffic.
Yeah.
In not traffic,
But if you
maybe
hear there's a murder
20.
in Pickering, we're like, oh,
that's
fuck.
closer.
That's literally, I could throw a baseball a couple times and get to Pickering. Thank you.
I can almost throw a baseball a couple times and get to Pickering.
Then that says something.
That's how big Scarborough is.
That Scarborough is big. Drives me fucking nuts. 680 News. Get your shit together. If it's Mississauga, they'll give you an intersection. If it's North York, they'll give you an intersection. If it's Scarborough, they'll be like, incident in Scarborough. Fucking where?
Yeah, literally. I didn't know you were actually this passionate about that.
I haven't ranted about it for a while, but I'm pretty. I'm a geography major, man. So I look at a map and I'm like, 680 News, either be better or move over and pay me to do a better job, you assholes.
Damn. I didn't know you were that passionate.
Yeah, let's digress. I'll do a 7-minute stretch on it.
I like Angry Greg.
Passionate Greg?
I like Passionate Greg. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Speaking of passion, Mark, talk about the Jays.
So much.
So hold on. Mark went to the opener.
Home opener.
Tell us about it.
I cried some man tears before the first pitch and all that shit.
Nice.
Everybody there was, man. It was so beautiful. It was the first time life felt actually normal in 2 fucking
Hey, talking
years.
to your mic.
It was the first time life actually felt normal in 2 fucking years.
He's trying to put emotion into it that people can't see.
Emotion.
Yeah, I know. Man, they had such a beautiful opening and stuff like that. I posted a nice picture of the home on my Facebook or whatever.
Yes. Oh, your banner.
But the game itself, the game was a lot closer than how everybody was so excited in the Sky Dome was. It was 4-2 at one point, and Kansas City was kind of threatening to score a run because they had a guy in second, but the entire Sky Dome was just just celebrating
Just
it was
nuts.
10-0.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, man.
That energy.
And they went 9-2 that homestand.
How expensive were the beers?
2.
Too expensive.
Just that's it. Just too expensive.
Too expensive.
But honestly,
Worth it just because...
Worth.
No, it was weird because so many people were buying beers after the first round, they were all warm almost. Yeah, just because the fridge was always opening and shit like that. They couldn't probably keep the beers that
They
cold.
also brought the shit in that day or whatever.
so it wasn't sitting in a fridge all day. or...
Sid Sixero tweeted a picture out because I guess they were broadcasting from
Oh,
Rogers Center.
the kegs coming in.
Yeah, so they had just been there.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so they just brought it in or whatever.
They don't come in a cooler truck. I'll tell you that right now.
That's correct, Ian. Ian has experience receiving beer.
It was such a good game. Like just 15,000 people just all there for the right reason.
It looked like a lot from your picture.
I'm still surprised they didn't use the 500s.
They didn't want to have to pay people to work in the upper.
That was the reason why.
I'm betting that's what it was. Yeah. I don't know, but I'm betting that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. How good was it was it second or third inning? Teoscar hit a home run.
The boat horn.
Oh man, I've missed it for so long.
Like, it's cool to hear it on the radio, but
nothing beats it, man. It's like that's the best home run Selly horn in the league.
Were we the first ones to do that? Because we used to have fireworks.
Yeah, they don't do it, man.
Exploding in the distance.
Mm-hmm. They used to do fire back when I was little. I used to love the fireworks. I guess they don't.
I remember every time when Carlos Delgado would just put one out.
Yeah, just load up the fireworks as soon as Carlos comes up to the plate. 9-2 on that homestand. They beat the crap out of Kansas City, as you should, because
that was expected.
Boston
has been tripping over their socks.
The Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody watched that game on Sunday, that home run Springer hit was almost as monumental as Batista's.
Tell us about it, Mark. Tell us about it. Frame it for us, because we're recording this on a Tuesday. So you might be listening to this on
August 10th. I was at home
10th.
earlier in the day, like right when the game started, and the umpire was terrible. Just terrible.
Mark's very as passionate as I am about Scarborough and the Toronto and the news and stuff like that. Mark's as passionate about
bad umpires.
Bad umpires.
But I learned that this umpire he was called up from AAA. Like, he was literally called up from AAA, and this is like he was put into literally probably with the biggest game of the year for both teams.
He just so happened to, yeah.
Just so happened to,
yeah.
So I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt now on a lot of the calls he made.
Sure.
But
at the time you didn't know.
No.
He made the game where the Jays had to beat two teams.
I see.
So,
and sometimes that just happens.
Ryu starts out pitching, gives up a couple runs and stuff like that. He's at 70 pitches through 3. So he knows it's going to be a short outing.
He didn't get out of the fourth.
Boston hit him good. It was, I think I heard something. It was most hits he's given up, 12 hits is the most he's given up in his career, and I think he did that. It was around there.
Okay.
It's close to his most.
What day? This is Sunday?
Yeah, this was the Sunday game.
Sunday. 8th?
Yeah.
And?
You just gotta stop.
And then the Jays throw in a guy.
Do we gotta start trying to interrupt him so he keeps going?
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
1 sec, I gotta drink my beer.
Oh my god. So I think, what was the score? The score ended up being 9-8 or something?
Yeah, the score was 9-8, but the Jays were down the whole game, getting slapped. They were down 6-2, 8-3, 8-4.
Yep.
And then they just clawed back. Vladdy hit a bomb that was absolutely have you seen Vladdy's home run from that game?
Yes.
That pitch was that pitch should never be hit outside of a ballpark.
Yeah. No. That's you're happy to get a hit on something.
You're lucky to foul that pitch off. It was a curveball that was just bottom of the strike zone. He did what his dad does. He hit a pitch that was almost impossible to hit as a home run. And I think that fired up the team so much.
Makes a difference.
Oh yeah. And then Springer came up late. Actually, Reese McGuire had a damn good at bat right before George Springer came up.
That set up the home run.
Oh my goodness.
If you're the bottom of the order really tells us something, because every MLB team should have a top of the order that's good. Some are better than others, some are elite. But if the bottom of the order can contribute, and that's with any team, and like the Jays are doing, if your lineup's deep, the bottom of the order is obviously better. But if the bottom of the order can get on base for your big guys on a regular basis, you're gonna win a lot of baseball games, because that's what we were saying last time. Good baseball teams win those games. The Jays could just have easily like been down 8-3 and just said, you know what?
If anybody wants to have an entertaining like timeline, go back to my Twitter feed from that game. I'm Mark Hall. Go back and read it.
There's no context with Mark's tweets.
No, it's
no,
just
but
from the
it's
Jays
just
game.
like if
Ian
he's
read
telling
it
a story.
yesterday.
It's like if right now if he started commenting on the Jays game on the TV, it'd
Yeah,
be
you're like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. You
Yeah.
guys are doing a podcast.
But-
I'm listening on a Thursday. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And Mark will just be like, fuck you. It's like, what?
No,
Why?
If you read my Twitter timeline from that game, you know exactly what's happening.
Well, no,
during that entire game.
if you know what the context is, like, why are these tweets so abrasive?
Yeah. Why are there 18 exclamation marks?
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever. Where are the Jays in the standings now? They're only a handful of games back.
3 backs,
of
though.
the wild card.
But man, when Springer came up the bat, I was at Amigos. I kind of like kicked myself out of the house and shit like that because I was so loud earlier in the game.
Yep. Mark kicked himself out of the house. He's like, I need to leave. I'm being obnoxious. I'm so sick of these umpires. I got to go
and
to
like
a bar.
on the pitch. Like there's a couple, like there's a few regulars of us at the bar. And I was like, on this pitch, if he hits a home run, like
You'll buy everyone a drink.
next round's on me.
And to the pitch.
Next pitch.
I jump out of my chair and just start losing it. Like,
And so does everyone else as
did
they
you see
line up
how
at the
far
bar.
that home run went?
No. I saw the home run,
You
but
said
I
it was 430 to
didn't
like
see the
second
distance.
deck.
Yeah,
Just
dead
left of
center.
the flight deck.
that's a dinger.
You
Absolutely
almost hit the
murdered it.
friggin' the hotels there.
The hotel, yeah.
That would've
That's
been so
high,
cool.
and you got to get everything in and the trajectory to hit it
Oh yeah.
like
So
that.
the guy he hit it off of, Matt Barnes, apparently him and like they were roommates and stuff when in college for baseball. Like they played on the
No,
same
that's
college
wicked.
team growing up.
There's a lot of guys like that. I
Yeah.
find like a lot of guys know each other, so it's that much sweeter for him. But
Oh yeah,
huge game. The Jays took 3 of 4, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah,
they should have
need
took
that.
404.
They lost the second one on Saturday.
Doubleheader. But that's a team you need to beat. You need to beat Boston. Good baseball team. You got to be a better baseball team. Good baseball teams beat other good baseball teams.
They got the Mariners later in the week, so that should be easy.
Yeah, the schedule does
Can we
lighten up a
for
little
a
bit.
minute?
What are we doing?
What are
Is
we
this
doing?
Buck Martinez?
No, this is
What are we listening to?
I don't know. I hear cheering.
the home run.
We're just going to hear the crack of the bat? Wow. Honestly, man. And then the foghorn. Is there another better, have we talked about this? Is there a better sound in sports than ball hitting bat? I think I've already talked about.
If you're a goalie,
No.
the puck hitting post.
Puck hitting post isn't the same because it's not as rewarding because it could still go
Well-
either way.
As we're watching this and I started that, Jace just hit a double.
That was a triple, I think.
Doesn't matter. Jays are coming back. They're playing, and then the guy misses
They're
the
playing
ball.
LA.
Yeah, they're playing the LA sucks.
The
Doesn't
Otani.
No, but you hear that whole moment.
It's Ohtani
in
and Trout,
instance,
that's it.
man.
I think Trout's been injured too.
That was beautiful, and there's only 15,000 people there.
Dude, the dome gets loud very, very quickly.
We were there for when it got loud that playoff. Like, even though they didn't win, but it gets like
It gets loud very quickly. The problem is with a lot of the Toronto sport fan is we're not loud generally. Not usually. Like playoff games, cool, but like
yeah. Well, we all watch Leafs games.
a lot of people are generally just not. I mean, not.
You need a suit and tie to get in.
Yeah, no, that's Leaf games, but Toronto fans, you need an excuse to get loud for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not just like we're not just gonna be loud for the sake of being loud because that's not. Like,
No, you're
that's
only
not-
gonna hype their team if you're
culturally
doing something
what
to
we do.
feel like you're rallying.
Yeah, if you give us an excuse to be loud, us
You only
generally.
rally a positive,
Yeah, so you're not. You know,
and I don't like that.
You're not-
I agree on your on your stance on that. Like
Yeah.
they only rally a positive. Like they don't. We don't rally around like getting over the negatives. We boo that, and that's
I don't want to say we boo it, but
we're against it.
Yeah.
We've seen it where it's been booed.
You're not going to be excited for the sake of being excited. You're not going to be loud for the sake of being loud in Toronto. You're loud. Give us a reason to be loud, and we'll be loud. It's all you need. You almost need a little bit of permission in Toronto as a Toronto sports fan, and that goes sort of across the Raptors. Maybe not so much, but still to a very
the game on
large
Friday
degree.
so much. Nobody had it felt like it was 10-0 all game.
Home opener atmosphere, though.
Exactly.
Right?
No,
So-
but it was beautiful, man.
That's the excuse. The excuse is a home opener.
Oh, by the way, Trout hasn't played since May 17th.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
Ohtani
know.
and Trout, and that's all this red team is. Mm-hmm. Anything to talk about? Mark, do you have any more baseball stuff? What did the Jays get at the deadline?
A couple good pitchers.
Who immediately got injured? Joakim Soria, what's his deal?
I don't know.
Closer.
I just remember him killing us when he was with Kansas City, I think.
Kansas City. Who was he with after that? Atlanta?
I don't remember.
Atlanta? But
He's a little past his prime, but he's got a nice repertoire of pitches that can get batters out.
veteran presence.
Yeah.
He had
Apparently
veteran
Merriweather might be back in the next week or something, because he said he progressed really well. Apparently he was not going to come back, and then apparently he's progressed very well in the last...
Was he Tommy Johns?
No, he wasn't Tommy John.
I don't remember.
Because he's been out for a
I don't
long
remember his
fucking
injury,
time.
but he's been out for a while.
Probably an oblique. Remember we were going on a rant about obliques earlier?
Yeah.
in the year? I remember our oblique injury.
It's probably an oblique.
Likely an oblique. Maybe not. Who knows? But bullpen. Listen, if the bullpen had been this consistent, or at least more consistent all year, we wouldn't be talking about a wild card spot.
Pennant. I still think that's not out of question.
I don't think so. The way Boston's sort of stumbling right now. Tampa's doing well, but
Yankees are getting lucky, but you see their COVID's going through that team right now, eh?
the Yankees?
Yeah.
That was something cool your dad brought up yesterday, what they're doing for vaccinated versus unvaccinated players. Have you heard that?
Which league is this?
In the MLB.
MLB. What are they doing?
So if you're vaccinated and you've been in contact with someone who has COVID, you have to have 2 negative tests back-to-back days, and you're allowed to go back and play. If you're unvaccinated, you have to go 14 days.
Interesting. So 48 hours.
That's why JD Martinez
Not even
was able
48.
to play. You know how JD Martinez had
Versus-
the positive or whatever?
Sure.
I
believe you.
Yeah. That's why he was able to play on the Sunday during the weekend.
Because
Or the
he's
Saturday.
vaccinated. He's double vaccinated. He got the double
Exactly.
negative.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until my dad. I was like, "Oh, good for them
Yeah.
for enforcing something for people to not be stupid."
Because they can't force their players to get the shots, right?
No, but MLB is a private enterprise, and it's not public land you're standing in.
No, but it's it's the players union or whatever
the
that.
association.
Yeah.
And the NFL, not that we're not going to go down an NFL rabbit hole, but they're doing something very similar, I believe.
Yeah.
And they have a lot bigger case.
If a
non-vaccinated.
if a team isn't able to play because of COVID reasons,
Yep.
it's an automatic loss.
Good.
Which really impacts them. And I know there's a lot of
Because
players
you only
that
play
are,
one game a week.
Oh,
And
yeah,
there's a lot of players that are against getting it.
that are against vaccinating, which is fine.
No, it
But
isn't.
No, it isn't.
No,
no,
it isn't.
no. Listen, hey, if you don't want to get vaccinated, it's actually impacting your pocket, though.
Yeah, don't make it my problem.
Yeah, it's impacting your pocket, and if you don't want to get vaccinated, then that's going to start impacting
Don't make it my
your
problem.
employment, and it's going to impact your team, and
And it's going to impact your life maybe eventually.
What was it? Quebec that
you got to
put
be very
in.
careful.
Quebec's putting in the passport thing, and their vaccinations doubled the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it extremely worth people's while. It's not just a matter of
When can we vote for it out? Because maybe someone else will do that for us.
Maybe. We'll see. It's very, yeah. Well, for those of us that do have our full 5G.
5G.
Anything else on the baseball? Should we do hockey stuff?
Yeah, there's lots of hockey stuff to go
Should we go
through.
through some hockey stuff?
It's funny because it's not even hockey season.
Jeez.
Keep watching the Jays. Okay, Mark, you got to talk into your mic a little bit more. Just scooch a little closer.
Scooch closer. Don't make me tell you about the scooching.
Keep watching the Jays.
People are going to watch. There's nothing else to watch. Other than the CFL, maybe. CFL just got going.
Is that started?
Argos won. Argos won again.
Is that season started or is that preseason?
First game of the season.
Nice.
First game of the
Nice
season.
knockdown.
I didn't watch. I've been at the cottage, so it's been Olympics and
Dock.
cottage.
You've been fishing up there? Off
no,
the dock?
No.
Don't even go down for some casts anymore?
No, I do go down. However, I need to get a new lure because early in the season, my lure got stuck in a tree.
Is it still in that tree?
Yeah, I pulled it and it was too high. It was one of the trees that overhang.
So you're gonna wait till the winter?
My line broke. You
got some shit line then, eh?
No, it was just that stuck, I guess. Like the tree was that.
I gotta learn how to cast again.
Yeah, it was like my third or fourth cast this season. So I was like, what do you like?
Well, by fishing, I mean you just throw your thing off the dock.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I'm like, I hope I don't catch a fish.
Greg's got a bobber. He's just like popping it off at like just at the edge of the dock.
Don't you have like a spinner on it as well? Like he's got like a deep lure, and then he's got a bobber on it.
Yeah, stretched really high so I don't get it caught on logs. If the bobber, yeah, you toss the bobber. So if the dog's around, you just be like, okay, I don't want the dog to chase anything. So you just cast it off, let the bobber sit there for a sec. Yeah. Just like a tiny bobber. It's kind of pretty funny. Whatever. I do.
So you're not a fisherman, is what you're saying?
I would never tell anyone I am. I just go down to the dock and cast off the dock.
I'm definitely not a fisherman either.
Yeah.
I have lures. Maybe I'll go get you one. Bring it over.
I need one of those ones that isn't it's not serrated. That's not the word, but it's got like the back hook, so it's easy to take out.
Oh, I don't know what that is even. So
I don't know. I don't fish with the bobber, so
And it's not a bobber. It's the lure. It's the hook on
I'm just saying.
on the end. The you need one that doesn't have like little quill on the end of the lure, so it's easier to pull off. Doesn't get us stuck.
yeah.
Plus the fish I catch are so small. Like I there's one
sunfish.
I've caught trout.
Nice.
Like not big ones. Like I'm not gonna go bragging.
You got trout in your lake?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
He's a big lake up
Yeah,
in
deep
Halliburton.
lake,
What do
man.
you expect?
Deep lake. No, I've caught a few
Probably
trout.
bass.
I've definitely caught bass too. Kind of catch a variety of stuff. I think it depends on the season.
It's probably rock bass though.
Couple rock bass, couple I think largemouth.
Lake bass is so good though.
Rock bass is disgusting.
No, rock bass is disgusting. Regular bass is so like
Yeah.
lake bass. Oh.
I've never cooked any of them.
Pickerel. If you got pickerel, I'll eat
We have a
pickerel.
massive like fish cook-off at our trailer.
Mm-hmm. That's a deep lake?
It's like my uncle and like they all get their fish. Like nobody cooks fish during the year.
Mm-hmm.
They just keep freezing and freezing and freezing, and like at the end of the season, they just do a massive fish cook-off.
What? Do they catch everything in the lake?
Yeah,
Okay. Decent. I don't know anybody that eats the fish out of our lake. I'm sure people do. You got to go deep though. You need the steel line.
Most people do catch and release probably, right?
Yeah. You need the steel line.
Man, fresh fish from the lake is so.
How
friggin'
deep? What lake are you on?
Buckhorn.
Buckhorn. How deep is Buckhorn?
It's not super deep. It's not a very deep lake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially where they go to fish too. They probably fish the shallow areas.
Yeah, they're going for pike, walleye, and
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
bass and pickerel and.
So you don't need any. You don't need fancy gear in order to catch those things.
No, and buckhorn's also a great fish, so like great lake to fish.
Ours is
Actually, because of COVID, because nobody's been on the lake for like the last 2 years, the lake's like almost repopulated itself.
well, that's good.
Yeah.
Nature's recovering a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours. There's a few guys. You see a few guys trolling out there, and you got the steel line. And I don't think there's a spot in Redstone that's over 200, but 150. Like, there's a couple.
Some deep spots.
There's a couple deep spots, and you got to go right where the ledge is, right where it dips off to the deep.
That's where they like chilling.
Yeah, like you're not just gonna catch a fish in the middle
Whenever
of the
I
ocean.
went
You gotta go to
fishing,
a
it was always like
trough.
find the little mucky areas and cast around that.
Yep.
It's just like high weed areas are good, like in and around there,
Yep.
because they like chilling in that area. It always when I fished, it was always like, oh yeah, this is a good area. I've caught stuff here before. It's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, there was a one fish and I caught it there. I caught it already.
I caught it the one time.
I caught a big fish here
20
once.
years
So
ago.
yeah,
Old rod, good rod, or great rod? Level 10 Magikarp?
Whatever. I was going to say whatever gets me a level 10 magic card to
mine's
make me
definitely
my Gyarados.
not an old rod, so it'd be like a good rod.
Good rod?
It's not a great rod.
I want a great rod because I want a Dratini as well too.
Yo, you gotta get the Dratinis. Just fish forever in the fucking safari zone.
Yeah, good luck.
That doesn't. It was kind of a cheat though. Like once you got to the spot, it didn't tick away your time.
Yeah,
You were just
well,
fishing
because you're not moving.
You're not taking steps. They should have counted like a cast as a thing, except
No, they shouldn't.
Well, for broken game mechanics, use them in your favor. I thought we were talking about hockey.
Yeah, we were
talking
going
about
to.
Dratinis.
I don't even know how we got here.
Okay. I just want to. So first and foremost, hockey. I want to draw some attention.
Oh, Ian's grabbed a beer.
What do you mean?
You were drinking in Arizona.
Oh, it's because I was thirsty.
Those are so good. You get those from Costco?
Yeah. It's like $17 for 24 of those.
All right, I know what Amy's getting for me when she makes her next Costco run.
When was UFA? Noon on the 28th?
A long time ago.
Guess who made an announcement at the exact same time as free agency began? The owner
NBA.
of the Montreal Canadiens,
Oh.
John Molson, regarding the
draft pick?
the draft pick. He waited until literally one of the busiest hours of the season to also slyly release a statement regarding the draft pick.
What a surprise.
What a surprise.
Dirtbag.
Double play.
To bury the news on purpose. Mm-hmm. So
I didn't even hear about it, actually.
Oh, man.
Purposely bearing the news.
It was such a cringe interview.
Cringe statement. It's like it was saying a lot of the right things, but none of them were actionable. Like what are you going to do with that? We're not going to go into deep into it. But what I sort of thought to myself was, you know what? Like I don't cheer for the Montreal Canadiens. I know people that do, but I don't drink a lot. I don't drink a lot of beer.
How do you feel?
I'm not a beer. I'm not a huge beer drinker, but I have been known to purchase the occasional
Coors
Banquet. So I just sort of made a decision, like until the Montreal Canadiens and John Molson, because he owns Molson Coors Beer Company. I went on their website because I'm like, like if you're gonna be like this, I don't have to support your product. And I'm just one person, and I'm not saying anyone else not to support these products, but I went on their website, and anything that has Coors or Molson in the name, Rickards, Grolsch, Belgian Moon, Miller, Pilsner, Mark. Unfortunately, Pilsner. They make Pilsner. Mad Jack.
I drink Laker Red.
Yeah, but Pilsner.
You drink Pilsner at Migos, though. You need to find a new beer to drink.
I'm just saying,
They only serve
I'm not encouraging anyone to not do the same,
No, they got
but
Mill
I'm
Street.
just saying that, hey, until Mr. Molson and the Montreal Canadiens get their act together, I, as a consumer, am going to choose not to purchase or consume your products.
Fair.
I can now action something against that, and it's something that they're not
going to notice.
taking action. They're not going to notice, but you know what?
You can do it. Maybe
You know what?
if a couple hundred people do it.
I'm not
I'll
going
give you the table taps for that one.
The
Greg.
here.
Yeah.
We've been supporting Amsterdam Brewery. They're
That we know of.
they're not affiliated with Molson
I
Coors.
support the Waterloo Brewery.
Yeah, Mark.
I think you're the number one supporter.
Mark puts that brewery, keeps them in business.
I think
Laker
he pays for the CEO, the vice presidents.
Oh yeah. Yes. And then before we get into other stuff, the Chicago Blackhawks. We're not going to go into that.
Yeah.
But Mark, you wanted to point out a spot that that people can find some information.
There's a very good podcast that the Steve Dangle podcast does with Rich Westhead or whatever. And
Guy, nailed it.
Guy.
Rick Westhead.
But he's the guy who's been breaking all the information and news that's been going on with the Blackhawks, with the recent allegations, allegations. And I very highly recommend listening to that podcast, even if you're not a hockey fan, because like the world needs to hear about what's going on in a professional society.
Yeah, so we're not going to cover it because other people are doing a very good job, but we're going to do our part. As we mentioned last time, we're going to do our part to
point you in the right direction
and just be another one of those saying, hey, eyeball emojis there, Chicago Blackhawks.
It's a situation that makes you sad as a hockey fan.
And Mark, you said something that you were mentioning something
Not even
about
sad. I wouldn't say sad. Angry and pissed off that.
What were you saying about Jonathan Toews?
There's a culture that's going on, and it's probably still going on in many levels of the sport.
What did you say about Jonathan Toews?
He was apparently upset or frustrated that the news got leaked.
The news about the allegations got leaked,
yes.
Or I missed this, but you mentioned it to me. I heard a little bit about it.
He quotes it.
So he's just upset that everything is coming public.
Yes. And I think that's asinine.
Yeah, you've had 12 years.
It's despicable
to take care of this and
if
to deal with it outside the public light.
You should have been upset about it when it fucking happened, and you should have never let it happen again. It doesn't matter whose head you have to go over.
So it sort of does call into question everything that a leadership group, and I hate saying on and off the ice, but you're starting to question the GM, you're starting to question the owner, you're starting to question everybody down the chain in
They've already
hockey
been
ops.
questioned. Let's be honest.
And you're starting to really question the people that are in the dressing room. That jerseys that you buy, jerseys that people purchase.
I hate the 12-year-olds that looked up to these guys. Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews.
It's unfortunate
Duncan
for those
Keith,
people.
Brent Seabrook.
Yep.
I wasn't a Blackhawks fan, so
I did like Taves, though. And if there is something bad with him, I'm going to have to not like him.
Yeah.
But until I actually hear
all the facts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's an allegation.
But it's just the things that are being said, you just can't.
All right, let's go through some
can't be
signings.
Unfactual.
Yes. So we're still waiting for for everything to come to light with the Chicago situation. We're not going to cover it a lot. We're just going to point you in the right direction. And the interview on the Steve Dangle podcast is a great one, as well as articles written by Rick Westhead as him and others continue to uncover what's
He's a great
what's going
follow
on
on Twitter too.
Rick Westhead?
They've come up with a lot of stuff. Very much less, but a third gripe that I have, not to the same degree, but also involving the Chicago Blackhawks, was the trade of Marc-Andre Fleury.
What a joke.
And the trade in general. So Vegas traded, if you guys remember, because it's been a while, the Vegas Golden Knights traded Marc-Andre Fleury for a guy who was drafted in like the 4th round.
For nothing.
For whatever. So they traded Fleury. Now, I'm not really upset about the return. I know a lot of people are upset about the return, but to me, that's no different than putting Carey Price on Mark. Hold on, let me finish here. Hang on, let me finish this thought. For putting Marc-Andre Fleury and trading him is no different than Carey Price being exposed to the Seattle Kraken. Because the Seattle Kraken would have lost Carey Price for nothing. And to me, it's no different. That $7 million cap hit is worth what Marc-Andre Fleury is as a player. Okay, fine. The fact that you found out on Twitter, though, and that no bonehead in the Vegas Golden Knights organization had the wherewithal to call your Vezina trophy-winning goaltender the face of your franchise, the guy that is on the back of many of your fans' jerseys, and say, hey, we might be trading you. Hey, there's trade talks right now. Flip him a text at bare minimum and say, hey, we're going to call you shortly, but this is what's going on.
Yeah, brutal. How do you trade a Vezina winning goalie for nothing? How?
That's a good question.
How?
But I do understand why the return was minimal.
Okay, they wanted the cap
hit.
Okay, cool. Why trade the Vezina winning goalie?
Chicago needs a new face.
Chicago needs a new face. Yeah, but what the fuck about Vegas? I don't care about Chicago. Won that trade by a mile.
Yeah, you gave up essentially nothing.
I'm counter arguing about what's going on with Chicago right
now.
Just
but that's not the point.
More news.
No. I'm just saying.
It's just like Vegas. You got to get something out of a Vezina winning goalie.
They got $7 million cap space is what they got.
I don't mind Liner, but I hope he shits the bed this year just so Vegas is bad.
Is that how valuable $7 million of cap space is?
Mark, apparently yes. Whether I agree with it or not, but
I don't know. I
apparently,
don't
yes.
know yet.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
You know what? It depends
This
on
could
what
be
you do with it.
something new.
It depends on what
That's
you
what
do
I'm
with it.
saying. Fuck, we're just arguing, saying the same thing with each other right now.
It's a great conversation.
I know.
I'm not upset about the return because Carey Price could have gone for nothing. And did you guys hear about the his wife posts on Instagram or Twitter or something? It was leaked somewhere that they were actually fully prepared to go to Seattle. Price,
Really, eh?
yeah, his
They
wife.
thought they were going to move?
Yeah, they thought she they didn't know it was going to happen, but they were fully
They
prepared
had
to
the
go to
like
Seattle.
mental anxiety about it?
They had it in the back of their mind.
Fuck,
She's like, I
man.
thought it was almost a lock. He's from out there. He's
Why
from
would you
out there.
not, though? I still don't understand why they didn't.
10 million. The cap hit. That's the reason, whether you agree with it or not, whether I agree with it or not. I mean, they took other contracts that maybe they could have done better with.
What do you say? There's 60.
We could almost say the same thing that's happening right now because Carey Price's contract's up in another few years, and like
Five,
it's
I
almost another
think,
Marc-Andre
5.
Fleury. If you want to essentially like compare the two as the years go down the road.
Marc-Andre Fleury's got 1 year left?
No, but
not
in
mine.
like say if he's there for 3 years and like the 10 mil isn't worth the 10 mil, it's a mistake.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The
Yeah.
last couple of years might be really
Yeah,
tough.
Fleury wasn't a mistake for Vegas, but
No. He was a Vezina winner.
exactly.
But the
But I'm
thing
s-
with Carey Price is he's also had the injuries, right? That's the main thing with Carey
That's
Price.
what I think.
Yeah.
Seattle took into serious concept too.
Anyway.
You want to keep talking about goalies? How
Yes,
do you guys
yes.
feel about the,
No, hold on. Before I do want to talk about goalies for sure, but I just want to reiterate that I think Vegas, that absolute trash move by Vegas. Like,
Oh, it was
How
dirtbag.
dumb are
It was
they? Though?
scum.
hang on, can I read out?
I lost a lot of respect for that team.
I got a shit list now. Vegas is on the shit list.
Oh,
Montreal's on the shit list. We know
Yep.
why.
Yep.
Chicago's on the shit list.
Yep.
Arizona's on the shit list.
just yeah.
Yep.
Buffalo's on the shit list because they're shit.
Is Carolina now there too?
For the signing of D'Angelo.
I know we want to go into goaltenders,
They
but
also signed Ethan Bear as well. You see they got Ethan Bear as well.
they traded for him.
They have Ethan Bear and D'Angelo on the same
Did
team.
they trade for Ethan Bear
they
or
have a
did they
racist
trade
and
it?
a native guy on the same team. That's smart. Smart.
Let's see how that plays out. Is this foreshadowing, Ian? We haven't written the story
And they're
yet,
both
but
defense. Imagine their defense pairing.
Oh my god.
Well,
Did you see what
let's leave it as a
Ethan Bear-
cliffhanger. Let's
Did
leave
you
that as
see
a
what
cliffhanger.
Ethan Bear did though the other day though? I saw
No.
on Reddit. He apparently completely like hooked up a kid with hockey gear for his camp because like he couldn't really afford it or something.
Oh, so Ethan Bear bought a guy.
His entire hockey set.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what?
Sure, the guys do
Because he
that all the
wanted
time,
to
though.
like be at his camp.
Costs you a couple $100 and everyone loves you for it. That's a couple $100 of excellent PR.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I hated reading it. It was like all the comments and stuff. It was like, imagine these guys in this, like D'Angelo and these guys in the same room, blah, blah, blah. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, why do you have to make
I know.
race, like, and all that shit about it? Like, man, it's just a good fucking deed.
So I'm curious whether Carolina's on my shit list too. They're not yet, but at least 4 teams on
They're
the
on
shit
my
list.
fence, man.
They're on the they're teetering. They are.
What they've done this off
Teetering.
season has been mind like bottling.
Let's start
Mind
there.
boggle.
Goaltenders.
For who?
We're starting with Carolina. I got a list.
No. Well, we already talked about the Nedeljkovic thing.
We did talk about
That
the
was
Nedeljkovic
that was
thing.
on the last podcast.
At least Eden remembered something from the last podcast.
I just remember it because it was Detroit.
And how do you feel about that now after seeing all the goaltending
Oh
stuff?
fuck!
Amazing.
Amazing.
He's probably one of the best signings still.
So
So can we keep talking about the trade for just a quick
Yeah,
second?
yeah.
I want to know how Ian feels about the Vrana signing.
that
Oh,
just happened.
that was good. 5'2".
Yeah.
He's a young guy, and that's like a bridge deal, right? In 3 years, he hasn't proven himself as like an elite player. Like he's proven himself
He's
as
not
a
going to
good
ever
player.
be elite. I think he could be a consistent 30 goal scorer for the next 5
Yeah,
years.
and
Agreed.
He might be an elite player. He's still young, right? He's still in his RFA.
Mm-hmm.
Who is he? 23, 24?
I would want to say 24 or 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think he'll be a 30 goal scorer for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
you need
Easily,
someone. You
easily.
need someone who can play in the NHL on your
Play
team
the
right
hockey.
now.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't mind it. They have the room for him.
What about the
good signing.
Bertuzzi signing too?
It was like, what, 4 something for
I think
him?
it was 4-2 something
Yeah, I'm okay with that as long as he's healthy. The problem is he hasn't stayed healthy.
after the Muzzin suplex.
But that's basically going to be like
That
the
fucked
first
his
line.
back
It's
up,
going to be
man.
Larkin, Vrana, and Bertuzzi probably.
Yes. And Nedeljkovic.
Yeah.
And Hronik, and Cider this year? He's
Yeah,
got to make
maybe
NHL.
Cider.
He's got to make it this year.
I don't know who's going to be first line though.
Letty.
Could be Letty. Probably he's going to be Letty.
Letty. Okay.
I actually have another tweet from Westhead about injuries and stuff like that. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter and stuff today.
No.
An orthopedic surgeon
An orthopedic surgeon nailed it so far. Okay.
in Texas recently said under oath in court deposition that MRIs of some NHL players in their mid-20s showed, in quotes, the most advanced degenerative disc disease you could possibly imagine, a functional spine of somebody who is in their 70s and 80s.
That's disgusting.
Spinal disorders.
And
Degenerative spinal disorders.
And this was posted today by the same guy who has been exposing the
Blackhawks thing.
Chicago Blackhawks.
Interesting. Well, that does lead into the Jack Eichel stuff, which really we don't have like there's no conclusion there yet, but it'd be interesting to see which direction that goes.
Yeah, and that stuff is pretty deep. It's like
But
I don't think
said-
Eichel wants to play for the Sabres anymore.
He won't. I don't.
think he'll ever play for a game for them again.
Ian, where do you stand on that? Because I agree with Mark.
He tweeted, "Let me out."
No, that wasn't him.
That was a fake account.
Oh, it was a fake account?
Ian got juked.
I don't know.
Although it's a fake account he made for himself, probably.
It probably is him.
Ian, if you were famous, would you make a fake account of
Just
for
a
yourself?
troll. Yeah.
Just to troll yourself.
I like
Of
trolling.
course you would.
It's like I'm drunk already.
Yeah. And just like, you know, because you could just spread little rumors to be like, see if it's true. It's like, Ian just dropped a new track. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, this is sick. It's like, oh, there's good reaction here. Maybe I should do it.
Yeah. Well, I have one in the bag, so I'll drop it.
Okay, goaltenders, enough of this. We keep getting sidetracked. Goaltenders. Okay, we'll start with the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina Hurricanes are one of a few teams that flipped goalies completely. They're like, Mrazek,
all
out of
three.
here. Nedeljkovic, out of here.
James Reimer,
Out of here.
Yeah,
Jesus
like they
Christ.
said.
I was being an umpire. And in
Oh.
They got a
Anderson.
bulldozer and was just like, "Urgh."
And in anti-Ranta. Okay, first of all, I want to say, before we get into this list, I'm really looking forward to our fantasy hockey goaltender conversation because it's going to be a bit of a shit show come September.
Besides Vasilevsky.
Yeah. We can just tell you our number one right now.
Let's just talk about Vas the whole time.
I'll tell you why that's absolutely useless because that's obvious. And if you talk about the obvious thing, then it's just like, oh, sick. Got to keep listening.
Has
with
Rask
Vaz.
signed yet?
No.
Vas might be out all year.
Anderson, how do you think he's going to do in Carolina? They're really betting, I think, that they're going to get 2016 to 2019 Freddie for that 4.5.
Well,
Only 2 years, though.
he'll probably do as good as he did with the Leafs.
He's got
because
Ranta. He's got Ranta with
Dougie
him.
Hamilton isn't there anymore.
No, he is with the jerseys. Mark, you basically nailed the price. 4.5 in 2 years. I said 2 years. You said 4.5 looking at their goaltenders. And we basically nailed it. Ian wasn't there.
When was this?
I think you were here. I think that was last podcast. I'm making shit up.
I don't know.
But we were looking through Frederik Anderson contracts, and we were talking like 3.3. It's like, what is he going to get? And Mark's like, realistically, probably in the 4.5 range, based on. I think you said 4.25.
You said
or whatever.
4.2 to 5.5. I think was your, or was that
No, no.
Hyman?
That was
me for
Hyman.
Hyman.
That might
I
have
nailed
been
Hyman
Hyman.
too. I nailed Hyman too.
5.5.
We're talking about goaltenders right now.
I know, but
Freddie Anderson
I'm sorry.
in Carolina.
No.
What are we thinking? Him and Antti Ranta. Here's my opinion.
I like the combo. It's a similar style to Phoenix, what Phoenix had last year.
Kind of, except
If they stay healthy.
Carolina's a much better team than Arizona. I wonder if Ranta steals the number one job from Anderson. If Anderson gets off to a slow start, I know they're only paying Ranta $2 million, but they've signed them both for 2 years.
You could see it. I could see it happening.
Antti Ranta's numbers, if he stays healthy, are number one worthy.
They're almost Vezina-like numbers.
It's just he only plays like 20 games a year.
Yeah.
He was good last year, and Kemper was injured for a bit as well, I think.
So was Ranta. Ranta was injured for a while, too. They had Aiden Hill play a lot.
And they got a good deal for him.
Yeah.
Shipped him off to play in San Jose with James Reimer. I don't know if this is an upgrade, though. Like, if Ranta is as good as he can be, maybe it's a side grade to what they got this year for Nedeljkovic, because they got a really good...
Nedeljkovic is young. That's the problem.
Upgrade. I think it's an upgrade for Carolina if both goalies are average.
If both goalies are average. I don't know if that's an upgrade. Would you say that the...
No,
Carolina
I think that's...
average goaltending this year? That's what you're saying.
Well,
I think that's...
Ranta's average is insane.
If he's healthy, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think that's definitely a downgrade. He's
obviously going to steal the spotlight from Anderson, and
you traded...
His average is elite.
You traded for Freddie, who's
then they got
at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Or going down.
He's only 31. He might sign another deal like this.
You traded a young stud goaltender who just had a phenomenal season.
That is around the same age as your core.
25.
Nedeljkovic is the same age as the core. I don't get it.
How old's Ranta? He's got to be 30-something.
He's about the same age as Anderson.
Yeah, they're both low 30s.
Sure. I'm not going to look it up. It's
and
about
I think
the same.
Mrazek's around that too.
Mrazek's a year younger, I believe, than Anderson.
That would make sense, yep.
Yeah, maybe a year and a half.
And Mrazek had great numbers when he played as well.
I that signing for the Leafs.
We'll get there in a sec.
Also,
I just don't understand how this makes sense for Carolina. It's almost like the grass is greener.
They're really banking on that Freddie being old Freddie.
I've been a big fan of Carolina. The moves they've made like this offseason, I'm like, if I was a fan,
you wouldn't be happy.
I would not be happy. If I was a diehard like in Carolina and stuff, I would be frustrated as a fan.
And you said you lost Dougie Hamilton. We'll get into that later, but this is not a better team in front of these two new goaltenders.
Exactly. That's what was my next argument that I wanted to talk to you over of.
But I don't know, man. Like, hey, it could be great. It could be a tandem. For 2 years, it could work. It could be
amazing.
You're spending 6.5 over the next 2 years, each year, 6.5 each year, on two goaltenders. And hey, if they get Freddie from 3 years ago, good for you. If you get Ranta healthy, good for you.
Yeah, but if you get Freddie from last year,
good. Like, not worth. How much would you pay for Freddie from last year? I know Mark has goggles, but you have to admit his numbers weren't great.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't worry about just one season.
No, it was 2 seasons. That's what I'm saying. It was 2.
Wasn't it 3?
No. 3 years ago, he was fine.
Okay.
2 years ago, no. Last year, no. The previous 3 were nothing wrong with the previous 3.
I don't know. He was injured those last 2 seasons, wasn't he, as well? Yeah.
Yes, true. Yep. But the numbers were still not the best.
Yeah, I know.
But you know what? He could go, and that's what I'm saying. If they're betting on 2016 to 2019 Freddie.
Like, my bias just comes from watching him play for Anaheim when he was like 23 years old.
He's not 23 now.
Right. I know, but I've watched his style of play and it's so good. I just know he's not like him right now.
For the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And 2 seasons is a trend. Like, that's the thing too. Like, you can't give credit for Connor Hellebuck for being amazing the past 2 seasons. And it's like, that's a trend. But at the same time saying Frederik Andersen the past 2 seasons isn't a trend. Like, you can't have both. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
It's like Hellebuck still hasn't proven himself. If that's your argument, because for 2 years he has been good, but he still needs to prove himself, and you say Freddie Andersen's only been bad for 2 seasons, then there's a consistent weight. But as soon as it's like 2 seasons, it's like, okay, there's a trend there.
No, for me, like 2 seasons is a timeline that like I give players.
Sure. 1 season, you had a bad season, I get it, you can get over it.
2 in a row, but like I don't think Freddie's that bad. I think, like Ian said, injuries kind of fucked him.
Did as well, yes.
Where do you guys want to go next? Mrazek, Toronto?
Mrazek, Toronto.
3 years, 3.8.
I like it.
Signing. Man, like,
yeah, what do you guys think of this?
I was so excited.
I liked Mrazek back in Detroit, so...
I liked Mrazek back when he played for the Czech Republic and the World Juniors.
Yeah.
You know what? My note here, I wrote Grand Rapids beside Mrazek. Can I tell you guys the story about when we went to the Marlies game?
We were probably there, yeah.
Marlies are up 2-0 in a series, AHL. And then the Marlies were gonna sweep Grand Rapids. I think it was a first round, so it's the best of 5 in the
This
AHL.
is when Detroit
Calder.
sent everybody down.
And then the Detroit Red Wings got kicked out of the
were at a
NHL
game.
playoffs.
We were at a game.
That's what I'm saying, Mark. Yeah, we were there. Yeah.
Thomas Tatar.
And the Detroit Red Wings
Nyquist.
sat a whole bunch of guys, including Mrazek, down to Grand Rapids because Detroit got kicked out of the
Yeah.
Stanley Cup playoffs. And basically, the Marlies didn't have a chance.
No.
Grand Rapids won the cup that year.
And when I watched Mrazek, we were there watching a game.
Yep.
We were at Rico. Now it's Coca-Cola Coliseum, but it was Rico.
Still Rico.
And we were watching the Marlies shooters shoot on Mrazek, and we're like, these guys don't have a chance. The power...
you just sent down like an NHL
the
goaltender.
power you have as a goaltender when you know that people cannot beat you clean it's just like
as a
I am
goalie,
invincible.
You know.
Well, at the
You know if
at the
people- they
time,
can't beat you
at the
clean.
time, Jimmy was still the technical number one, though.
Grand Rapids,
right?
Yes.
Grand
In
Rapids
Detroit?
won the Calder that year.
So Jimmy was still number one, but I'm pretty sure
they did.
I'm pretty sure Mrazek stole his number one that year.
But he was still eligible to be sent down.
Yes,
I was a
he was
fan
still
of
on a
his.
2-way contract.
I was a fan
Yes.
of Mrazek when he was in the World Juniors with the Czech Republic.
That would have been like probably the year before
The
that,
dude was
right
dancing
before.
with Dominic Hasek.
Yeah.
except for nowhere close to the same play style.
He was flashy like Hasek, and
No,
Ian, that
he
was like
doesn't.
Ian. He doesn't do that anymore. That was like
No, he
8
never
years
did
ago.
it.
He's a lot more
Ian,
Dominic Hasek than Frederick Anderson.
Okay.
But like he's like modern day, I suppose. He uses what Mark's trying to say is he uses his
Athletic.
athleticism as opposed to his big frame.
Yeah.
Like Hendrik Lundqvist or Frederick
And they're
Anderson.
both Czech.
Yeah, there's a similarity.
Yeah.
You know, I found. You know what?
I'm Canadian. Does that mean like I'm like Wayne Gretzky, basically?
Correct.
100%.
No,
Yeah,
I'm kind of
cool.
I am Marcel
but
Dion.
like no, when I watched him in the World Juniors, he was making saves where like he was on his stomach and then he would like kick his pad out.
Yep, goalies do that.
He was goaltending.
Okay, fine.
I can't say I remember. I remember the Grand Rapids.
No,
thing.
I remember like him literally almost like stealing, like he.
What
With
did they
Frechette.
medal that year?
Yeah, I think they got bronze.
Okay, I vaguely like it rings a small bell.
It was like early 2010ish.
Yeah.
Do you remember how I
yes.
hyped up like Lane and Puljärvi when they were on Finland?
Yeah.
Like I felt the same way like years before that about Mrazek when I watched him play in that thing. Like I went and watched Czech Republic like just because I wanted to see this goalie play because he was doing shit like Hasek did. And I remember Hasek just like diving around and stuff like that. And he was doing shit like that as a kid.
So, Mark, it's interesting you mentioned that. And combine that with my memory of him playing for the Griffins. And that's a very parallel story, very similar story to how I have watched
Yeah.
Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
Remember how I mentioned Jack Campbell, the 3 years for the World Juniors?
Yep.
Now we got 2 goaltenders on the Leafs that we've watched.
We've watched
coming up
history
now.
of. That's hilarious.
Like, I can't say that about Grubauer or Robin
No.
Lehner or...
I watched a lot of
Vasilevsky.
Grubauer
Even
with
Vasilevsky.
Boston. Grubauer's a really good goalie.
Really?
I watched a lot of him with Washington.
yeah, but
Right.
that was Washington.
But I'm just saying,
we're saying
talk
like
about
pre
that.
NHL.
No, I know. Even pre-NHL, I watched a lot of Grubauer. He's a good goalie.
It's 2 goaltenders
He's a
now
really
on the
good
Leafs that
goalie.
I've paid attention to for a long time. And I'll give you another comparable that has come to mind with Mrazek. He's had a slew of random ass injuries.
superficial.
The thumbs what happened to his thumb? It was like in warm up?
It was broken.
In warm up or
Yeah.
something?
None of them are his fault.
The David Ayers thing.
That was his fault.
What the fuck? But still, like what the fuck?
Running into Kyle Clifford.
It was what
Yeah,
the
I
fuck,
know.
but what
I
the
know,
fuck?
but superficial.
dumb.
You know who also had a bunch of really strange injuries
Was it Anderson?
early in his career, and then he changed organizations and then got over them and actually was a really good goaltender?
Who?
Remember the goaltender for the Atlanta Thrashers?
Kerry Lettinen
Kerry Lettinen. As soon as he went from Atlanta and maybe
to
got
Dallas.
different medical staff, different training regimen, different preparation,
Well, you know the Toronto Maple Leafs are like
a
staple. They're a staple.
top-notch organization.
no, they're a staple for health and safety too.
So we'll see if a change of uniform will help Mrazek
Diesel, come here.
be a little bit more
off.
consistent
Diesel.
injury-wise. And I'm interested to see what'll happen there.
Yeah.
I have said I've been on the podcast. I've said that Mrazek behind the Carolina Hurricanes this past season, if Mrazek got his shit together, i.e. injuries and consistency, he would be a top 5 goaltender.
He would have been a Vezina candidate.
So, Ian, you want to chime in there? Mark said Vezina candidate. I said top 5. You want to make a bold outlander statement?
Well, that's
knowing that it won't
Stanley Cup winner by himself.
Whoa!
And no one else in front of
That's two
him.
less people than being a top 5 goalie in the year.
Yeah.
But he had numbers to be a Vezina candidate before he had his injuries.
If he had been consistent.
He had 3 or 4 shutouts already in that year, too.
And insane numbers.
More goalies? Well, Reimer went to San Jose, so that's the third Carolina goalie gone.
Is he going to be the starter? It's him and Hill. Right?
It doesn't
Hill.
matter.
It doesn't
matter.
San Jose
sucks.
How bad is San Jose going to be
I was just bringing it up to fucking complete the Carolina.
Man, they got
getting rid of
so
all their
many
goalies.
guys signed to long-term contracts, and they're a bad team.
They still have decent players, but
no, they don't. Vlasic isn't decent anymore.
Couture's good.
Burns isn't.
I like
decent
Couture.
anymore.
Who's that other guy they got?
Yes.
Timo Meyer is probably
Meyer. That's who I was thinking.
I did read out a rumor that earlier for Timo Meyer, or he just heard that he was being shopped because he's there by himself in terms of young talent.
Oh fuck!
San Jose's not going to be good.
Fuck off.
Grubauer, Colorado,
Jesus Christ.
to Seattle. Okay, remember halfway through the year. We were doing a fantasy episode. It was our fantasy booster pack. And we were asked about Grubauer. And someone's like, yo, should I keep Grubauer? And we're like, yeah.
We said 100% yes.
Because he's going to resign. Colorado would be dumb to not resign him. And then here we are. So I think my buddy Hunter asked. So sorry, Hunter. What the shit, Grubauer?
Didn't they get Kemper as well?
Who?
Colorado?
Yes. Yeah, they got Kemper. Darcy Kemper is now.
So they have
So is that an
Kemper's their
upgrade?
number 2.
No, so Grubauer went to Seattle. Kemper's is Colorado's number 1.
Oh, yeah, Kemper's their number 1.
So, but they signed Grubauer for 9.5.
Colorado just didn't have the cap space to sign Landeskog, Makar, and Grubauer.
And have depth.
So they chose to sign their captain.
Yep.
They didn't want their Vezina candidate, but then they
wanted their
signed
future
their
Norris guy.
Norris candidate.
Yeah. Basically.
Calder winner. I don't know. I like Kemper. Kemper's a good goalie.
But how about Grubauer? You know what? He's never been a number 1 goaltender for a full season.
I don't know why they're really going for. I don't know why Grubauer would go to Seattle.
They just offered him money.
I don't know.
So hold on. So 6 years, 5.9. So let's call it 6. 6 plus the 3.5 they're giving Drieger is still less than they would have had to pay Carey Price.
Fair. Who's their other goalie?
Drieger.
No, who's the third one?
They traded.
They traded
Vanacek back to
Washington.
for a pick
Their number 3, I guess, would be
Decord or whatever his name is.
from Ottawa.
Yeah, Joey Decord is
Yeah.
number. What's a good number 3? That's
Yeah.
pretty good. You know what? I'll tell you what.
Tell me what.
Seattle might have one of the best tandems in the NHL.
Probably.
What's in front of them defensively? There's some question marks. Like, can Alexiak and Larson be number 1 guys? Because someone's going to have to be a top pair defenseman in Seattle.
Vince Dunn?
That's a terrible division.
I like Vince Dunn the most on that team.
And he only signed for $2 million.
Yeah. But that could, if they get it together, they could be one of the best tandems. And they have a division that really won't test them very much. Granted, you play most of your games against non-divisional opponents, so you're going to be playing other teams as well. But Darcy Kemper, is that an upgrade for Colorado?
I don't know. Grubauer's played great, but they could be the team in front of him, right?
Yeah.
But Grubauer played good on Washington as well. So
Mark, you've been a fan of Kemper. In
Yeah,
Arizona.
I was a fan of him when he's on Minnesota and the Kings.
But he
Was that the Kings before that?
played good on
drafted.
Arizona, even
He was
with like a
drafted
shit
by
team
the-
in front of
He
him.
was drafted by the Kings.
Kemper's had some good numbers.
He's had some really good numbers. Now he's got a good team.
Yeah.
He was drafted by the Kings.
He's never had the pressure, though. It's like, you got to win a cup, bro. That's not more like, hey, try to make the playoffs in Arizona. No one's looking at you.
It's hey, no one's watching you. You can do whatever you feel like it. Now there's a lot of people watching you.
We're playing for keeps. We play for keeps.
Other goalies?
Kemper. I like, just before we go, Kemper, I like it. I think it's a bit of it could be an upgrade. But with goaltenders, it's so tricky because
Kemper's been hurt a lot too.
I know. So, but Grubauer has until this year as well. Even this year, he was a bit injured.
He was injured all year.
Grubauer?
Most of the year.
No.
In and out.
Yeah, a couple times, in and out.
He was a Vezina candidate. How was he injured? They wouldn't have given him a candidate if he was injured all year.
That's my bad.
Yeah. But previous to this year,
Previous year he was. Yeah, 2 years ago he was.
Next one on the list is Reimer, starter, question mark. We're like San Jose, LOL. Same with Hill, whatever. Sorry, San Jose Sharks fans, but your team is trash, garbage, poo-poo.
LOL.
Holtby. Dallas has too many goalies.
Is Bishop even playing?
Good question. I guess not. If they signed Holtby. They got Holtby. Kudobin. Other guy, Ottinger. Ottinger was their number one this year. Because Kudobin was not kept on his tradition of not being good in the regular season. Like, he had that one run. I think that's what he is. Like, he's a goofy playoff goaltender that once in a while will catch fire.
Goalie.
He's a solid backup goal. He's an above average backup. I'll put him at that.
He's like a Halak.
Sure.
No, he's worse than Halak.
Yeah, Halak's done it before. I think Holtby's very interesting because that does it. Ottinger or Kudobin have to move, and if you're a team like, who doesn't have a goalie right now? Arizona doesn't have a goalie. Buffalo doesn't have a goalie really.
Yeah, where did Olmark go? He signed for like 20 mil somewhere.
That's an interesting one, actually. Allmark is a Boston Bruin.
Is that where it was?
Allmark went from Buffalo to Boston. 4 years, 5 mil.
Yeah. 5 mil a year, yeah.
Like, this one, I scratch my head because did Boston target him? Or did did Boston get caught with their pants down and being one of the last chairs remaining and musical chairs, like you had to sort of sign somebody?
I think Boston targeted him and
they've watched him enough in the division.
Knew what they were getting.
Well, Halak,
I don't think Allmark's that bad, like awful of a goalie.
Is he worth 5 mil?
Is it 5 mil a season?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's getting 20 mil over 4 years.
I thought it was.
I'm giving you average annual value, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving you
Yeah, it's 20 mil over 4 years.
I thought it was like 1.2 over 5 years.
I'd tell you 1.2 then.
Okay.
Just to keep
Sorry,
it
then
consistent.
yeah, okay. Boston fucked up.
Yeah, I think pants down was the main thing.
Yeah, they got caught. I think they got caught with their pants down. They couldn't sign a guy. They couldn't get Grubauer at 5. They said we have 5 mil for a goaltender. They didn't want Anderson, or Anderson had already signed. Honestly, man,
I don't mind Olmark. I've had him in fantasy hockey, and he's done okay, even
That's
being
what I
on
mean.
Buffalo.
He's decent.
His numbers aren't terrible.
That's a lot of money.
But you're also playing in Buffalo. Like, you're going to Boston. You're gonna have a little easier time there.
I agree.
You're also gonna get booed if you suck.
I think Allmark has a better chance of being good in Boston than in a lot of other places because it's Boston and they have a good culture there. They have a good team atmosphere. But Mark, you're absolutely right. If you
fuck up in Boston, you might have like a hit put on you.
Yeah, like Tuukka Rask for an unknown reason because he didn't get the
of his
cup.
family.
For taking care of his family, you get booed in Boston. That's what kind of fans Boston fans are.
And
Allmark
went to Vancouver, right?
Hang on. Would you rather have Mrazek or Allmark?
Mrazek.
And the Leafs paid less for Mrazek.
Yep.
Would you rather have Grubauer or Allmark?
Grubauer.
For basically the cost of what it costs to have a
just because I've seen
entry-level contract.
Grubauer play on a good team.
Yeah.
I know he's got that high end.
Yeah.
I've seen Olmark do okay in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was outstanding.
No.
He's okay. He gets wins. He'll have some good saves. That's about it.
I'll put it like this. I think Allmark is probably better than Halak right now.
He's younger.
Halak lost that job as the number 2. He really didn't look good in the bubble. He looked slow. He kind of looked like he was holding on with his fingernails. You know what I mean? Like he was just sort of like making it work, getting by, but he wasn't looking like he was in control. He wasn't in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Allmark, if Allmark's better than that, then I guess you're upgrading. But for $5 million, man, this. Hey, listen.
More than what Hart got paid too.
Yeah, what was Hart? I don't have that written down.
4 point something. I think. Or
Was that recently?
Yeah, very.
It wasn't. It wasn't like. It wasn't the.
it was 3 years too.
Yeah.
It wasn't like one of the first days. Was
No,
it?
it was very recently. It was more recent enough that I didn't write it down on my piece.
Carter Hart,
piece of paper.
3 years, 12 million contract. So
4.
just under 4. It says 11.94, so just under 4.
Would you rather have Allmark or Carter Hart?
Carter Hart.
Well,
Carter Hart's younger.
Age makes a big difference on that.
Allmark's not that old though either.
No,
I
he's
know,
not.
but I'd rather have Carter Hart.
He's still, yeah.
I think
That
that's
potential's there.
I think that's a seal of a deal for the friggin' Flyers.
I don't know. Compared to Allmark, yeah, I'll agree. I'll go with that. Compared to some other guys, I think it's on par. I don't think it's.
Who'd you
I don't
sign
think it's good
it-
either way.
Fair.
Oh,
I
who
think it's
else
on
did
par.
Flyers sign? Martin Jones.
Mark, explain yourself. You're a Flyer.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Because Elliot went to Tampa.
Yeah. Okay, so you're rolling Martin Jones and you're rolling Carter Hart. So Martin Jones only 1 year. So 1 year, 2 million. You know what? 1 year.
Let's just say
happens.
the beers are going to be flowing for one reason or another.
There's
And you know exactly what reason each are for. We're either going to win or we're going to lose.
honestly, man,
Bad or good.
this.
Maybe San Jose was that bad. Martin Jones isn't that bad of a goalie.
That's possible, man. That is very possible. The flip side of that coin is Philly is turning into another goal, like just remaining to be a goalie graveyard because they have been. Like
Yeah,
you
I
can't
already
say
know
they
that.
haven't. You can't say they haven't been a goalie
No,
graveyard.
we've killed every goalie we've had.
Yeah,
Or we traded them to go win a
Straight
Vezina
to
with
the
somebody
graveyard.
other team.
straight to the graveyard, Yugi. To the Shadow Realm.
Where did Rittich sign?
Rittich.
Oh, he's Nashville, right?
I think that's an excellent signing for Nashville. 1 year deal, nice fit. Trade him at the deadline if you.
Because they got
find out
of it.
Saros Rittich,
Yeah,
would
I
be
think
their
Saros
one
is
two.
going to arbitration, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Detroit just dodged that with Vrana.
Hey, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge arbitration, there, buddy.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Who else goalies went?
Looking down the list, yeah, you said Elliott moved to Tampa Bay. Interesting. Whatever.
Can't forget the
Go play your 5 games, Elliott. Vass has got the rest of them. Anderson signed in Buffalo. Craig Anderson, Washington to Buffalo. So, like what?
end your career. See it?
Him and who else signed in Buffalo?
Don't forget Aaron Dell.
Was it Aaron Dell in Buffalo?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They both signed a $750K contract.
Okay. Going into this season, imagine the Sabres, just fun interactive game.
Or Jack Eichel.
The Sabres, I'm assuming that they roll into the roster, the season with the roster they have. They don't, but I assume they do. Unless Jack Eichel, because he's not touching another blue jersey for the rest of his
8.
life. How many points?
Oh, I was gonna say 8 wins.
I thought you were going to say 8 points. I was going to say, that's about right.
I was gonna say 8 wins.
Yeah. How many wins, Mark? Like, that's a bad team.
I don't know.
What's their saving grace? Do they have one?
Sam Reinhart.
Oh, he's gone.
I know.
Punted.
Rasmus Dahlin.
Dahlin, that's it. Risto's on Philly now.
Ristolainen, yeah.
Yeah, who do they? Montour went somewhere as well.
Dude. Okay.
Oh, they have Jeff Skinner. I forgot, guys.
Oh, the $6 or $7 million fourth liner.
Yeah.
Good thing Hutton got out of Buffalo.
Where'd Hutton go?
He went to Arizona, aka the Buffalo of the West.
Oh.
Oh,
A +3 goals against average over the past 3 seasons. So Arizona's not literally Buffalo West. Arizona's not looking great either. Because they moved
poor Kessel
They moved Eck,
to Philadelphia.
and they moved
Ekman Larson and Garland, you mean?
Ekman. No, sorry, not Eck. Not Ekman Larson to
Oliver Ekman Larson went to Philadelphia.
no.
No.
He went to Vancouver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. OEL and Garland went to
Yeah.
Vancouver. You're thinking of
nothing.
Matthias
Ekholm.
No. Ellis. You're thinking of Ryan Ellis.
Ryan Ellis.
Mark's had too many beers. And his beers are draining the rest of us. I haven't had a beer yet. Fuck. What's wrong with me?
Where is your beer?
I got it. Yeah. Figure it out.
Chew boss.
Yeah. Yeah. Riddich on the list. Hutton. I'm just going down the list here. Jones. Yeah. Goalie graveyard there in Philly. Like, I hope one of them pulls it together. $1 million for Jones is a good deal. Vlader. Boston had
That
four
their third guy.
goaltenders.
Yeah,
Boston had 4 goaltenders there.
he was their number 3 though, wasn't he?
Him or
Vlader or
Swayman?
Vlader?
Swayman. I think Swayman's probably going to be their guy. Him and Allmark. If Rask is going to be a Spezza. Rask, it's like, it's either you sign in Boston or you're not playing, basically. I think that's what Rask's situation is. Vlader went to Calgary, I assume, to be the backup to Markstrom.
Don't forget Detroit signed Calvin Pickard.
Yes. I was going to say, speaking of Vancouver.
Sorry, the Flyers got the other ex-Coyote, Keith Yandel.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. You're not drinking the crazy juice completely. You're just got the names mixed up.
Yeah. Used to be a Coyote. Went to the
Former
Panthers.
Coyote, former Panther.
Feels like that was like over a decade ago.
Can you guys explain to me what the Vancouver Canucks are thinking?
No.
Okay.
But yes.
They,
I don't know. They picked up some good pieces.
No. And listen to this. Okay, so they buy out Holtby
Yeah.
and they replace him with Halak.
Yeah.
Is that an upgrade?
I think so.
Halak lost his job as the number 2 in Boston.
Yeah, he was injured a lot last year, though, too. And Halak's, like, 2 years before that were, like, almost starter numbers. He was just only playing behind Halak, or, Rask.
Guys, honestly, I don't know if that's an upgrade. I think it's a side
I don't know.
grade. I think it's a side grade at best.
Holtby wasn't good last year though. So
No.
like he had
Holtby
some
was
terrible
ass
numbers.
last year.
Yeah, he's not great. But for one more year,
They're just hoping on Demko. They're really hoping.
But you're really bought out and put that cap strain because you're already in cap shit show, Mr. GM, and you think your number 2 is going to make that big of a deal? I don't know. I just think it's
They're only giving him 1.25.
No, but it's buying
It's the
out,
buyout.
and it's being on the cap for the next 2 years. I just don't know.
They should have just tried to trade him. I feel like they could have traded him for something. Unless people didn't want the cap hit. Where did Holtby go? He got signed by someone.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas, yeah.
Now Dallas has 3 goalies.
4.
4 if Bishop can walk.
Yeah.
So interesting. Almost through this list. I know we don't want to be too late in because
I was gonna say, are we going through forwards and defense? We're not gonna make it.
No, absolutely not.
Let's do that tomorrow.
The last guy I got on my list, I don't think that Bernier, New Jersey. I guess you'll.
Yeah.
You don't want to see him leave Detroit. He played really well for Detroit.
I like New Jersey did work to make their team better this year.
Fucking New Jersey did a lot of work.
Yeah.
New Jersey's looking angry.
Yeah. You just want to take a second, just appreciate New Jersey.
They got some young guys too. They got the young with like good.
Yeah.
They got the 2 Hughes brothers now.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one of them's not going to play this year, I don't think.
He might not, but
Jack looked really good last year.
Jack's good. Heisher's good.
Heisher up the middle. They got 2 stud centers.
Heisher was injured all last year too.
Yeah.
When he came back, he went on a tear too.
Yeah.
They have pretty good defense too, actually.
Severson is a very
Is Blackwood
stud.
gonna be starting or
Severson, yeah.
I think Bernier's stealing that starting job.
Man.
Or
Do you remember
it'll
watching
be more
Severson
split.
when he was on Albany, Greg, in that playoffs against the Marlies.
Yes.
The dude was a fucking animal.
Man, we picked up a lot of stuff watching games live.
Yeah, I want to go to a Marlies game. When could we do that?
You pick up so much. We sit up in like the back row or two, we eat our Haagen-Dazs and beer and just watch, and you can just watch with whoever you want. You don't have to follow the camera. It's hard to watch AHL on camera, TV because it's so grainy.
At that level of like the AHL, even though it's not like it's still pro,
It's
but
pro.
like, you can
It's
see
pro.
the players that are like, oh, he's gonna go, he can make it.
You can tell the ones that stand out a lot easier. A lot. It's like junior.
I don't even think I looked at this team actually all year.
New Jersey?
Yeah, I'm just looking at them now.
No, I remember mentioning a couple podcasts ago that we did not mention New Jersey almost at all.
Because I don't remember pulling up their team
Besides
stats.
them getting fucked over by COVID.
Basically, yeah. And then, but basically, like, there's no one really of fantasy hockey relevance, so we really didn't talk about it. Not that was our focus entirely, but we didn't really.
They had Paul Mary.
They had Paul Mary and
yeah.
he wasn't even relevant either.
No, you wouldn't have been. Paul Mary would have been the only relevant
Subban,
one.
you wouldn't have touched. Maybe if you wanted to try to get
Zacha
stats.
Zaka. He had 35 points. Hughes had 31.
Yeah. Who did
and then Bratt had 30.
Did they lose
Sarangovic had 30.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I did add him. Sarangovic. Yes. He was a weird name, and we're like, who is this guy?
Severson, 21. Subban, 19 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Now, Dougie Hamilton. Mark, what do you think Dougie Hamilton... I'm putting you on the spot. We're going to hear your opinion in September on the fantasy hockey thing. Just immediate reaction, because I know you're a Dougie Hamilton fan.
If him and Severson are a defensive pair, they could be the best pairing in the league.
Cool.
I think Severson is that good to complement Hamilton.
Aren't they both right-handed shots?
Shut up, Ian.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
I know they could be right-handed, but if they decided to play together...
I didn't know if Severson was Canadian. I like that.
I just wanted your initial... Because I was like, that's interesting. Like, I don't want him to be on an island, but this is an up-and-coming team.
Like, the Devils already...
They're gonna be one of those asshole teams in the Metropolitan now.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of those.
I think the Devils... I think Severson is already a number one defenseman. And I think having two of them just makes your team so much better.
Well, we've talked about not on the podcast, but we've talked about Severson for a couple of years being really good. Just watching him play, you can see he's a good player.
Yeah. Just being on New Jersey, there's no reason to watch New Jersey.
There's no publicity behind him.
They're the third most important
The only
team.
publicity on that team is when Subban gives up a puck.
Yeah. and you haven't heard much about Subban either, really.
No.
In the past year since he's
he hasn't been doing any. He did a couple things during the off season, right?
Yeah. Well, that's you don't hear about him on the ice. You hear about him like off ice stuff. Last guy I got on this list is Brossois, who basically goes from Winnipeg. He did a pretty good job backing up Winnipeg, and he goes to Vegas to back up Robin Lehner. They give him just over $2 million over 2 years, so it's like
really
okay.
You give him that
it's just
much?
$1 million contract.
No, Mark. 2 years, average annual value 2.325.
Oh fuck,
that seems like a lot for him.
That's way too much for him.
You know what? Remember what we said that Fleury, that $7 million, it's only good if you use it wisely.
True.
I don't know if that's wise.
What did they get? What did they get out of that $7 million?
Well, 2.3 of it is a replacement, Laurent Brossois.
Yeah, but they're expecting Lehner then to play 70
for 2 years though.
For 2 years,
I would like that at 1 year, but not 2.
Kind of like Jones. They paid Brossois more than Martin Jones.
You mean 2.3 over 2? You mean if it was like an average
and
annual
Jones
of like 1.2
based on numbers?
1 year. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. If you'd split that in half, but that's AAV. I'm giving you guys AAV, and I'm kind of keep it consistent.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I just think there's gonna be a lot of interesting stuff, and I'm still trying to digest a lot of these signings.
But it makes a lot of teams changed.
Dude, I almost filled up an entire piece of paper
just on goalies.
Like, this is basically 3-ring binder paper. There's no
Greg
rings.
looked like he was writing the Lord of the Rings.
I wrote the Lord of the Rings on the goaltenders.
And then how many more papers do you have for the rest of the positions?
Oh, I didn't even write those down.
Oh, no.
We're gonna make that up. I think we're gonna go through them. We're just gonna fly by the seat of our pants. I was just having, honestly, I was sitting at the cottage.
Yeah.
I was sitting on my chair at the cottage.
Having an adult ginger ale?
You betcha. 3 ice cubes. Thank you very much. And I just like, let's write down, let's see what the goaltending situation is, because that was a lot. There's a lot of people playing musical chairs.
Yep.
This is way more than usual. So teams are going to look a lot different.
I feel like last year there was a decent amount of goalie movement.
Yeah, maybe. No, I mean, there are teams like Montreal stays the same. There's a lot of teams that stay the same. The Rangers just signed, what's his face?
Shesterkin.
Yep. Georgiev maybe still on the move. Does he want to get traded?
Yeah, I don't know. But Yeah, Shesterkin got a decent contract. That was yesterday or something.
Yeah, recently. Anyway. Any closing thoughts, guys? I think we should wrap it up. I got to respect you guys' bedtimes because it's a weeknight.
Yeah.
And most of this podcast has to get up early the next day. Most of us.
4:30.
Yep. Oughta be.
Out the door by 4:30.
Woo! Boys.
Let's go, Blue Jays.
Are we doing the rest like tomorrow? You got baseball?
I got baseball tomorrow. We'll do it like on the weekend. We'll do like a regular podcast time. We'll figure it out.
Sunday's Mark's birthday, so
Mark's birthday?
yeah, he might be a little intoxicated.
Oh,
so
woo!
we might not be able to do it Sunday.
Ooh, we'll sing happy birthday or whatever.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up here. So, guys,
Yeah.
cottage time and stuff like
Keep
that.
watching.
Oh, Mark, you were going to say something about 5G and the and get your vaccinations. Keep it quick, real quick.
Just go get your stabbing because, like, I don't think anybody else in the world is mentally prepared for another lockdown. So just stop being
I am.
selfish.
I don't care.
Like, 70% of the country is vaccinated. You guys are clearly still the problem. So, hey, we don't need to say goodbye to anybody else. So, just smarten up.
All right, guys,
Yeah.
on that one, we'll wrap it. Cheers.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter @DraftInHand.